أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين. We had our Irish geezer coming again, and he said, "I want to ask you a question."
Well, actually, what I wanted to do is I wanted to say thank you to Uncle Omar because you launched my YouTube career, which has only been 2 months old and may not last very long. But if it does, it'll be because you started it. And if you remember, about 2 months ago, we were having a coffee up there, and we nearly had a row because you asked.
He was naughty at the beginning,
I was.
but later we sorted it
Well,
out.
a friend of mine kind of. So I do apologize for that. But what was great
No
is
problem.
we ended up having.
What is the name of your friend again?
Oh yeah, Nick Cotton. Nick was here again today. I can tell you about that in a minute if you want. But yeah, just say thanks, Uncle Omar. I think we had a good conversation that day, and then you put it on YouTube, and I think it's had a pretty good response.
Good.
And I guess what I was saying to your colleagues here is, what I would hope to do is every time I come here, and I say you got the ball rolling, is to show that Catholics and Muslims can have a good conversation, and that we have a lot, we can build an
The
alliance.
decent non-Muslim. The decent non-Muslim. I don't speak all the non-Muslims. Only the decent of them.
Fair enough. But when I say that, yeah, that's a fair point. Good.
Because
Yeah. Why
I am very, very limited in options. If you are decent, I am decent with you.
Absolutely.
If you are naughty, I am terrible naughty. So, as long as there is no insult to our religion, to our God, and our way of life, we can talk.
Correct. Absolutely. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I had a soft spot for the Irish.
Well, do you mind me asking what's the origin of that as such? Why the soft spot? I'm glad.
The Irish are different. I'm not generalizing.
I know.
Yeah? But the majority of the Irish are more decent than the majority of the English. Maybe this is getting in trouble, but this is my opinion.
Well, look, I mean, obviously, I might not be in the Irish group you're referring to, but I try obviously to be decent, and I found that you are the very same. But well, that's fair enough. But what I have discovered over the 2 months is the Muslims I speak to, like you, we can have very good conversations.
But
There's
I'm
about
very
6 of them on
different
the.
Muslim. I'm not going to put me in the same.
Well, let's kind of talk about the use of this terminology. If I say the Muslims, you know,
there is Muslim and there is Muslim.
Not every Catholic is going to live up to the moral standard that we might like. In fact, we're all sinners, but we can still kind of generalize about the group without having to every time qualify and say.
I like
they're not all like
the
that.
Irish. They are appreciative people.
Okay.
When the last Sultan of Muslims, yes, Abdul Majid, tried to help the Irish. The Queen of Britain, maybe I don't know, Queen Victoria or something, don't help them.
This might have been during the famine, even,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And he gave them £10,000 and this, and the Queen said, I give 1,000, you cannot give 10,000 more than me, and you have to smuggle the food and get it through. And the Irish, the non-Muslim, have football club now named after this Sultan. And this show you the appreciation.
Well, sorry, just saying that. I've often wondered, there's an Irish pub in Brixton called the Sultan. And I thought, well, did the Irish take it over? But now I'm beginning to think maybe there's a real genuine historical root for that. I didn't know about that, so thank you.
And the flag of the football club is like crescent.
Yes.
Okay? And they would the plate or something, we appreciate the Muslim Sultan.
Thank you.
And this shows you, I'm very happy I'm living now because the media are so evil. They try to portray all the dirt according to their agenda. But now, for the first time, I can see in Britain, the young generation is breaking of this bullshit.
Okay.
They don't believe the media. They don't believe the bloody what to call it, the Sun and
Right.
all this GB News and
I hear
these
you.
people won't fire.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I was a school teacher, primary school teacher, and uh, there's always a danger with education, and I think the
I feel
education
sorry for you.
I think the education system in England is now it's basically an ideological machine. The job is not now. What's the purpose of education? It's to find, to search for, and to live the truth. Uh, but now we can all see the purpose of education is ideology, to manipulate the young people into a certain way of thinking. Now you can do that for a while, but I think the young people are rebelling and they're getting sick of it and they're saying, hang on, we don't believe
You
you.
will not like because you are old now, like me. Because I feel sorry for the youngster.
I know, so do I.
Their time,
Yeah.
their children time in the school,
Yeah.
they're gonna do siku in the classroom, and you cannot say anything.
And this is another reason I am just so grateful to the Muslims. Okay, we don't need to qualify every time, but Muslim parents really have been fighting the good fight on this issue, right? They've been protesting outside schools and so on. Thank you. Okay, I'll leave this one down.
No, it's
and-
very
and change-
cold water.
Oh, sorry.
It will calm you.
Ah,
Give us.
do I sound like?
Give him a go one more.
I sound like
No,
that's lovely. Thank you.
Allah bless you.
Thank you, brother. Lovely. Oh, it's lovely.
جزاك الله خير حبيبي. Allah bless you.
Well, you're right. I mean, like I say, the purpose of education is to search for and live the truth. That's what it's supposed to be. But now it is about promoting subversive ideologies. That's not education. That is propaganda.
For the first time, people of Britain knew the reality of Israel.
That's right.
And you know, the first time people know who's running Britain. It's not Keir Starmer, it's not
That's right.
Sunak,
No,
it's the hidden,
that's right.
the hidden society, the hidden government who spread all this dirt.
That's right.
Yes?
That's right.
Because right is right and wrong is wrong.
Correct.
You cannot, whatever you do to prove wrong is right, you're gonna fail.
That's right. Absolutely. I think I may have mentioned to you the last time, and this is why, you know, we have to hold the Jews to account on this. But there was a famous Jewish psychologist called Wilhelm Reich.
We're not talking about
Well,
Jews,
let-
we're
let
talking
me-
about the Zionists.
Let me talk about this individual. He was a student of Sigmund Freud, the father of psychotherapy and so on. And Wilhelm Reich was living in Vienna, and he was fascinated by Christianity, and he wanted to know how can you, in a sense, undermine somebody's Christian faith? And he knew now a seminarian is a young man who's going to training to become a priest. And what William Reich discovered and documented was that if you want to destroy the faith of a Christian man who's going to become a priest, you can talk about the existence of God all day and about theology, but it's not going to work. What he discovered was if you want to get him to stop praying and stop believing in God, you get him to start masturbating. He said the idea of prayer evaporates from his mind. Now, what's the point? Well, if you want to destroy Christian culture, you sexualize our young people and get them thinking about sex and sodomy, and you promote masturbation and pornography. And I think that's really bad. That's what's going on. Now, we're told it's
Is
about
it
freedom.
fair?
No.
In a country like Britain, they tell you what we are civilized. You show 6 years old private part and tell him this is boobs, this is this.
And if you say it's wrong, or I say it's wrong, we're the bad guys. We're the
You grown
haters.
up, you didn't see this
No.
dirt,
No.
and you grown up, you have family and this.
Maybe like
What is that? Why I have to not see this? Where is this?
Well, I think the Wilhelm Reich little episode I told you about, it's to destroy morality. Because now, did you know when the Jews invaded Ramallah in 2002? What they did, the first thing they did, they took over two of the TV stations and they started broadcasting. Guess what? Pornography. Now,
We know who ran it in America.
well, we're told
We
exactly.
know who ran the Playboy and the Victoria's Secret. We know that your friend told me. I didn't know. The one he owned Victoria's.
Well, the owner of Pornhub is a trained rabbi, Solomon Friedman. Now, one thing you can do if you own a big porn platform is you can make some money. Okay, but porn,
This is dirty money.
pornography, that
This
is dirty money. But I think the secondary reason is the Jews are nervous of a strong Christian culture because they feel exposed there because their identity is anti-Christian. So I think that explains why they promote subversion and pornography and all these other things because it is an attack on
We had a
Christian
verse, we had
culture.
verse in Quran.
Yeah.
Our Lord saying, وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَنْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ. They only hate us because of what? Rich? No. Intelligent? No. So many? No. Because I believe in.
That's right. The only enemy they're really frightened of are
When you
believers.
believe and you don't, and disbelieve all what they do,
Correct.
and all what they doing is gonna collapse like this, like the Saudi.
Correct.
They said we are good country, we are good country, we are good country. One movie came called Goat Life. Destroy what they did the last 50 years.
Now, the other part of this as well is that Thomas Aquinas was probably our greatest theologian. He lived in the Middle Ages, and he said something that comes from the gospel, and you believe it and I do, as believers.
I don't believe
he
in
said
gospel. I don't
lust.
believe in gospel.
Hang on, okay.
Please.
But what I'm saying is the moral order. He said lust makes you blind. Let me repeat that.
Yes, yes.
Lust
Yes.
makes you blind. In other words, if you sin sexually, you become intellectually
We
blind.
had verse in Quran said,
Correct.
أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخِذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Haven't you seen the stupid who take his lust is Lord?
Ah, thank you.
So he obey his lust more than his Lord.
Now,
Why? Because I cannot stop myself. Yes, you are my Lord, you create me, you done this, but I'm animal. I cannot stop. I have to be 24/7 animal.
correct. It is a way to turn rational creatures into brutes, and they behave just like animals, which is just appetite. I want food. I need to master.
Like Sheikh Donkey. This Sheikh Jordanian, the fat one, he eat too much.
Well,
And
that's
he
not.
has, honestly, you eat too much, you
I
have big belly, you have big backside, and you think only in the machine.
I'm okay.
You can't think, but not all the time. The machine
No.
is enough to think about it half an hour.
This is what explains why the Jews would broadcast pornography, because if you can get the Palestinians masturbating, they're going to become blind, and a blind enemy is easy to defeat. So what I'm saying is, it's not just making money. Pornography is a weapon to destroy your enemy. So any young people out there masturbating, watching porn, you are doing exactly what your enemy wants. Stop now.
Shall I tell you something? I don't know if it's good for you or bad.
Tell me.
We have in Islam prediction. Our Prophet said, the people in Palestine will be there standing fast till the day of judgment. So I care about myself more than people in Gaza or Palestine. You know why? Because I don't have evidence. I will be tough,
Right.
strong till that. But there, they're not gonna finish. They're gonna be expired. They cannot finish them. If one person left, he will take it over like David. You know David? This upon him. Little boy, he finished Goliath. Little boy. But
Well,
believer.
listen, I hope it's true. I don't know. I can't call it. But I can tell you one
It's
thing.
true.
If they manage, to me, the symbol of, now, nationalism is a good thing
It's
with
not good. For
limits.
us,
Let me
it's
just,
not good.
well, what it means
We
is
don't believe in
what it means is you love your country.
No.
Well, let me just
We
finish.
love our Lord first.
I hear you.
Not our country.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You can love God and love your country. But what I'm saying is,
If my country comply to God, I love it. If
Fair
my
point.
country doesn't
All right.
comply, I hate it.
well, I would say I don't hate it. What I will do is I will work to turn it back to God.
Yes.
Because I love. It's a bit like if my father behaves badly, I don't hate him. I try and help him, or my brother. But the point I'm trying to
But
make.
Sisi is not my father.
No, but let me
Sisi is
just.
son of Malika from Morocco. This is human.
The point I'm trying to make is, I think Palestine symbolizes
يلا بإذن
Give me a bun
Sim-
and
that
Yeah,
if they man, I don't think they will. But if they destroy Palestine, don't think that's the last country they will try to destroy. That's all I'm saying. So in that sense, Palestine is very, in a sense, representative of any ethnic group or any nation that wants to be
Arabs
survive.
around Palestine are the most pigs in the whole world because they don't know if the Zionists take over Palestine, which will never, they're going to take Egypt, and going to take Jordan, and they're going to take Lebanon and Syria and this. Because when you are aggressive, nobody can stop you unless you are strong. And nobody will come and tell you, give you a right, tell you, this is your right. Right have to be grabbed. You have to stand up and take it. This is my right. You cannot take it.
Yeah.
But praise to the Almighty, this little tiny country, 360 square kilometer, shows human and animals and birds the civilized West and the very beautiful Christian East, Russia and Ukraine and Poland and this, and the Buddha, the Chinese. How all this shit, and this is predicted in our religion. All the non-believer will come to Muslim under 80 banner. 80 banner will come. Third of the Muslim, they're gonna send him Uber. They're gonna finish. Third of the Muslim, they run away. And the third of the Muslim who's standing, he will get victory. So we are winning. And when we die in the sake of Allah, we don't believe we are dead. We believe this is the eternal life.
We share the
Because-
same belief on
because,
that.
Same belief but different belief. Because our
But I'll explain a bit more in a second. Yeah.
our Lord has never been crucified,
Okay,
and
brother. I'm in the Legion of Mary. I can talk about theology all day long, but I think
if you want to talk about theology, go to this.
exactly.
What's his name? Englishman, middle class.
And Hashim is there.
No,
in
no,
our-
theology. This.
Okay.
I want to tell you, I'm
Well-
transformer and the Muslim.
You mentioned I don't know about Muslim prophecies and so on, but
Yes,
I've lost my train of thought now. But
theology is about theology.
no, well, we were saying that, but we were kind of talking about Palestine and what it symbolizes. Oh yeah, but the thing I was saying is, if you want to weaken your enemy, promote sexual sin, and probably the easiest way to do that now is pornography, and I think that's what explains
I
why
don't
Rabbi-
want to weaken my enemy. I want strength in my people.
No, that's what I'm saying. But when we wonder why would a rabbi own the biggest porn site on the internet, why would the Jews broadcast pornography in Palestine? I think we know the answer, because they want to weaken the people, and that's why we have to fight it.
It doesn't. I honestly, I am happy because there's very little few in Britain, English people or Irish people, still standing against this evil
You're right.
of transformer and the rainbow flags
Yeah.
and all this dirt and bikini lion and
You're right.
because they damage. You know what is the biggest problem in Britain?
I would say it's failure to recognize Jewish power.
No,
Anyway.
no. The biggest problem in Britain is no workforce. People don't get married. A man marry a man, produce goat. Woman marry a woman, produce cat. And there's no new workforce.
Well-
And you have to bring workforce from there. If you bring black,
You're right.
oh, you're African, we don't
You're
like
right.
you.
You're
If you
really-
bring Asian, you are Paki, we don't like you. If you bring Brazilian, no, you are half black, half this shit. So what the hell you want?
Let me explain. I wear these two symbols. I am against the genocide of Palestine. These are This is the feet of a baby in the womb at 10 weeks old. Now, there are two genocides going on together. Let me ask you a couple of questions. I'm not trying to trick you. I'll tell you the answers, but and it's gone along what you said. It's reinforcing what you've said. In 19 okay, I won't even ask. In 1929, the Church of England